everybody, can you believe it? They look perfect. 3 sets of minutes I didn't find. So we have the January 11th regular meeting, which was held at the high school library. Unless anybody has any changes, can I have a motion to approve, please?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We have the January 24th regular meeting. Again, I found no issues, so unless anybody else has any problems, could I have a motion to approve, please?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. And then we have a January 24th executive session. Again, I went through this and I found no issues here.
I'd move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Okay.
Bids and donation.
Staffing.
Staffing. In your packet, I wanted to just keep you abreast of an update on the leaves of absence this year, as well as provide information regarding the appointment of teachers to the various teacher leadership positions that we also have in place. You can see this year we have 21 leaves of absence. It is a higher number than we've had in the past.
Sure is.
Do we have an average, Carl, a normal number?
Boy, yeah. I would state about half of this. Approximately half.
Do all of these leaves require a, quote, full-time sub, or how do we,
Yes, a full-time licensed sub.
which costs us more than, does it cost us more than a day-to-day?
They're put on the first step
Mhm.
of either the bachelor's or the master's
Mhm.
in the teacher's contract based on their level of education. And they're there for the duration of the leave.
But again, these are all within the bounds of the contract that
Absolutely
teachers
within
have.
the bounds, but I
right.
just wanted to show you that we do have some extraordinary expenses
Yes.
this year. So we're making this up within the budget, and I just want you
Mhm.
to know that this is taking place. We're not coming to you saying we've exceeded the budget.
Right.
But we do have some extraordinary expenses.
Okay.
Okay? And then, I think, Mel, you had requested that you wanted to see who people were in the teacher leadership positions this year, so I've included that in your packet as well. And that's just a point of information. Unless there's any questions, I just wanted to share that with you.
And actually, I think this is an important, very important issue we were able to work out with the association this year. You know, Jerry and I worked with Kathy, and we were able to come to a meeting of the minds, and I think these curriculum leadership positions and also the, I guess, subject leadership or whatever else, are very important to the district in terms
Very
of
important.
the curriculum and making sure that, especially with the change in the curriculum too, now going to the
That's right.
national standards, so.
The Common Core. And again, we have these positions in place, and the teachers in these positions are very anxious to move forward. And so we know that collaborative time that I've asked you for will be used very well by these individuals leading their colleagues through the various initiatives that we'll have in place. So
Okay.
that's that.
Next, we have a very generous donation from the North Reading High School Parents Association. They've donated 6 Kindle readers and an account card for the purchase of reading materials for those Kindle readers. It's a total value of $1,333.81. Very generous. So if I could have a motion to accept with gratitude, please.
I would make that motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Very nice. I also mentioned, and I just want to mention quickly, and Michael had sent a message or a story to us, what the town of Burlington, the city of Burlington, town of Burlington is doing in terms of, they're going to be introducing iPads into their high school next year.
Yes.
In fact, the story was on Patch, I read it, and it's something that, we need to be looking at, but we also have network infrastructure issues we have to deal with first before we can even think of moving ahead with using technology like that, but.
And the funding.
And the funding, right. All in place. Next, we have subcommittee reports. We actually have another athletic subcommittee meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I just saw it.
the main topic of discussion there was, we talked a little bit about the signs at the Kenny Field, but there was no further action because the policy subcommittee has to work on that. But we talked about, the athletic director has some ideas for some potential new sports added to the high school. We talked about the fact that those would have to pay for themselves, basically, that there's no money in the budget, they have to be covered by fees. So he was going to come back to us with more information on that. They were also researching a little more information on the concussion helmets, the cost, and how we can get more of those. We talked a little bit about the coach evaluation procedure, which I believe he's going to bring us more information tomorrow.
Correct.
And then there's some interest in working on improving the condition of the middle school baseball field, and I hope Coach Carey is able to make it
He will.
tomorrow to our meeting to discuss some ideas for that. Again, money from volunteers to upgrade the field as opposed to us having to spend it. The big issue is what kind of maintenance do we have to do on the field? That adds costs later on. So I think those are the key issues. There wasn't anything else.
What were some of the sports that they wanted to?
They're talking about
Gymnastics.
gymnastics and possibly girls hockey are the two
Yeah.
sports. I think gymnastics is a little further along, and I think he may come to us tomorrow with some numbers.
That's what we asked. I mean, how many, what's the interest?
Yeah. Gymnastics, I believe, will probably have enough interest to look into adding it next winter. They're both winter sports. The girls hockey, you don't know. I mean, we used to be part of a co-op with
And
Wilmington.
this year, I didn't even realize.
We're not part of that
We're
anymore.
not part of that this year.
So Wilmington has their own team. So, but you need 15 girls to, at least, to start a program,
And
maybe more.
I know a few years back when we went through this, a group of girls showed up for a meeting, I don't know, 16, 17, and half of them had never skated before. So
Right.
they were interested, but it wasn't a,
Right.
enough interest to form a team. yeah.
And the one issue with the hockey is,
It's expensive.
it's expensive because of the ice time.
It's really
And one of the
expensive.
things we did discuss actually was some of our, I don't know if we call them experimental or club sports, for the first few years are a club sport. In the past, they've been paid for through private donations. I think lacrosse was started that way, I remember, and it was a club sport for a couple of years, proved successful enough, and then we were able to get,
Oh, yeah, huge success.
right, lacrosse has been a huge success.
Well,
so-
we started field hockey, lacrosse.
Right.
All as, pilot programs
Right.
with private funding, yeah.
But as we said to the athletic director, anytime you want to add a sport, we'll support it, but it has to be self-sustaining through the fees. And one of the issues you get is you have a kid playing 3 sports, the third sport is $100. So if it's 20 kids each paying $100, it's going to be hard to,
Right.
pay for especially for hockey.
And the lacrosse had great support from the youth
Yeah.
lacrosse program and everything.
Yeah,
so-
youth lacrosse had grown to about 150 kids by the time it was added at the high school. So you knew you had that group of kids coming in. So, we also had a communications subcommittee meeting.
We did not. It was
No,
canceled.
communications.
Oh, sorry, communication.
Yeah,
I thought you
communica-
said subcommittee, sorry.
Yeah, communication. Basically discussed some ideas for better use of NORCAM, and we came up with some issues that we might want to have programs on, ranging from special ed to what's going on in the athletic department, to just some things that explain what we're doing at the school. A budget primer, and I know they have the studio now over at, where's the studio? At the Flint? No. Damon Tavern. So we talked about maybe, half-hour programs that we could schedule in. Any committee members that wanted to be involved, community members asking questions, et cetera. And Kathy's, her new newsletter, the new superintendent newsletter is out. I suggest you get that to the two the patch and to the transcript.
They're on
Because-
the alert now,
okay, they're on the
so
alert now.
that's
They
the
get
next,
it? All
it's
right,
gonna
great.
go out through alert now.
That'll go out tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. It's full of information. Carl does a great job explaining the modified budget, modified budget, so it's got good, Patrick has a nice little article in there.
Mm-hmm, technology.
Patty Bullard, so it's a nice newsletter. And what else did we talk about? Oh, the
Brochure.
brochure. You want to talk about what
Well,
since
we're in
I
the-
fell down on the job, what you're going to do?
Well, we're in the process. We've collected brochures from surrounding school districts in the state as well as out of state, and we'd like to put together a brochure that publicizes all of the good things that we do, because we need to make sure that we're getting the good message out to those individuals who don't have children in the school system, that also need to know about all of the good things that we're doing. And so I'm determined to get this done this spring, and then we'll get it distributed this spring.
Well, we also talked about, you had met with the administrative council about articles that
Yes.
each would do for the patch and for the transcript,
Yes,
correct?
yes. We're looking to do, each take a turn and write an article, so that would be once every 9 weeks. Each one of us would write an additional article about whatever we want to write about, but call it Around Campus
Mhm.
or something to that effect, so that we're also getting information out about district programs and school-based programs.
Great. And then for the administrative report, is there anything you want to call out there?
Well, you can see the committees. We did have to cancel policy
right.
subcommittee, so we have one coming up.
Right, we have athletic subcommittee tomorrow, policy March 2nd, evaluation March 8th, and communication on March 14th.
Yes. So for administrative report, there were items that were included in your packet. At the high school, we had 3 pieces that were published recently. The North Reading High School Safe Homes Program, sponsored by the North Reading Public Schools and supported by the North Reading Police Department. You also had a brochure that was prepared regarding bullying prevention and intervention. And the program of studies for 2011-2012 was published and included. In addition, you were also provided an invitation to Read Across America at the Hood School, and I have a message here from Principal McKay to please contact the Hood School if you're interested in reading, so that they can get you scheduled into a classroom.
Okay.
That's taking place on March 2nd, which just happens to be Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Right.
And so you're invited to wear a silly hat on that day as you read. And, let's see, under correspondence, you also, in your packet, received a letter from the new sheriff of Middlesex County, Mr. Peter Katusian.
Okay. So our next meeting is at the Little School,
Yes.
28th of February, and then Monday, March 14th, will be at 6:30 at the high
6:30.
school, and then 7 o'clock, the special town meeting. And then Monday, March 28th, will be at the Batch.
Yes.
And then the budget workshop on the 31st
Yes.
of March, and then hearing on April 11th. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
Bids and donation with
Yes,
Yes.
We did.
I think you dozed off. We
Oh, you did. Sorry.
We did do it.
Yes, we did.
I was gonna wake you up, but you look so comfortable.
I think Cliff made the motion and Jerry seconded it, right, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, Karen, hope you're watching, get well out there. Entertain a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
good night. A lot of stuff,
Oh, we did.
fast.
You don't know